Hi everyone, mwebale kubanga muli ku RKB nsonyi butambudde bulungi ddala omwezi ogw'abakyala tugumalako mu ngeri y'akatawi bwe baguweddeko tukutandise tutya tuli mu Holy Week naye kiki kyotaddewo ekyenjawulo okulaba nga you spread love more than hate abantu abasinga olaga nti oyagala nate nga munda olina obukyayi bungi omuntu bw'oba ng'olina omuntu kulaba nga adaagana ng'omuyambye bw'omuyamba ate tolyogera don't kiss and tell kikomaawo nti oyambye lwa Mukama Katonda sosobola kulaba so mu ngeri eyo tuba tulina engeri gye tuzza eri Mukama Katonda atufiidiridde atuweereza omwana we omu yekka ng'omulaze otya omukwano yagala akulinanye kubanga ne Bayibuli egamba yagala neighbour nga bwe weeyagala so oba olina omutwalo naye ng'olaba waliwo ajja ayitaga 10 lumuwe antumulaalaasa kisinga kubeera mufe abakyala ffe tuwa ate ne twogera ebyama by'abakwano baffe omuntu akutrustinze bambi tekiba kirungi n'akatono kanga bulijjo anjukira nti tulina engeri tulina okwezangamu amaanyi ffe nga abakyala kyano yange tunanya abakyala n'abaana njuka omukyala gwe nabayitako wano bamuyita Julie Jalia ayogerako ku depression yali mumazeewo olw'ebintu bye byayitamu n'omwami we and everything sente zataddemu bla 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 namusasuza bukyayi tuke twayogerako ku mwana omu ku baana be so olunaku olwaleero njagala obbanjulira muwala wa Julie omukulu gwe bayise Lorna agenda kuba twogerako naye tulabe embeera mama we gye yayitamu yamukosa etya ng'omwana newankubadde mama ye tamanyi nti omwana we akoseddwa naye mu process yonna mama ng'alwanagana n'embeera eyaliwo n'okusoomozebwa okwaliwo omwana yakosebwa atya so tuzze okuba nga tunyumamuko naye yakosebwa atya naye ate yakivunuka how are you my beautiful daughter
Okay,
nti maama wo
yes.
kubanga maama wo mukwano gwange so mba maama wo
Oli mami wange addako.
ate ne kakkala kyekyo
Tuyita bulungi.
okitegedde have you been
I have been good.
wasiiba ki
Nasiba?
wasiiba ki
Wabula tawo sitegedde.
tewasiiba twedde ntulina ekisibo kino ekyabakatuliki ba protestant yes
kati nze ng'omuntu sitera goberera season.
Yes.
I usually let the Lord ndi mukyala mulokole. I usually let the Lord speak to me.
Amina.
Ne siba according to his instructions or item bantu. Yes. Kati leero ekisamu naye tekyaliwo.
Tonnakiwulira.
Sinnakiwulira naye era nga nza kusiiba.
Kituufu wala bakkiriza era nga kulungamizza.
Yes.
I know. Bana gwe muwala omukulu.
Nze muwala asooka for both my father and mother. Yes, tuli
born out of love.
Yes, ela my name according to mommy means love of nations.
Okay.
Yes, tuli abana batano. From both mommy and daddy tuli basatu.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm still the
firstborn.
Yes.
How does it feel okubanga gwasooka?
A lot of responsibility. Atenze sina room for failure abantu nolidde bangi and it's also good. It's good kubanga control mba nayo.
Tusooka ebirungi kyebigeramu kwa we are the firstborn like gwe mukulu.
Nze mukulu baganda bange banfuuliriza nnyo naddala muganda wange anzirako ankubira nnyo essimu Lorna kati wano nkoze ntya Lorna daddy yakoze kino Lorna njagala it's very nice okulaba nti someone looks up to me.
Like when you're growing up.
When I was growing up, my favorite part about being the firstborn, for the longest time, it was just me and my brother. Kati nga sina gwe nzannya naye ng'ate ye mulenzi yali munene nga mumpi nga mwambaza obugoye butantuuka nga mutambuza ku kyalo nga sister wange ate engeri gy'ali omusirifu nga he lets me do what I want. Era nga bwe baleeta ebyokulya nze alina okugaba siye nze mukulu
ate nga teweeseera
olwesimuwako kati ningera he just bambi he lets me because he's a quiet boy taakayanya so yeah.
And it's the bad part of being the firstborn when growing up. The challenges.
I was never seen as a child. Nali muntu mukulu. Nali zalabirira ewaka. Kati ate engeri nti my brother yanzirako 4 years later. At a very young age, n'ebizibu bya mami we byatandika with mami and daddy. Nalina okumulabira nalina okusteppinga up. So
olabiriraani
muganda wange oluusi at a later age at about 10 nalina nga nzalongose ewaka nza making sure omukozi yaguze mami byamuganda like I didn't have a chance to be a child, basically.
You are the mini mommy.
Do mistakes. I didn't have room for mistakes from a very young childhood. Kwanga mommy trusted me a lot. Nti yayina ebirala byaddealinga nabyo. So nga bino ebyawakati muganda wange ayambadde anyanabye ebitu I have to do that. And even no nalizanyanga n'emikwano gyange, it became I have to take control. I have to govern this situation. I can't lay back and just relax and just maybe make mistakes. No. And ekyo kyaffectinze nnyo mu bukulu.
How?
Even in my other relationships with my friends, I want to be the one in control. I want to be era bwempulira nti sina control emirembe gimbula
bambi wamanyira
namanyira era bwempulira nti omuntu tandese to have my way tanjagala and so this friendship is over. And I have, of course, hello omuntu oyiga nti it's not always supposed to be like that. Kati waliwo oluusi abantu abakwagala and I'm just like unachanjagala ayina kyanneetaaza mukolere ntya, because when nali nkula, for my mom to appreciate me or for my mom to say positive words, it was when she came back and the house was clean. Emmere bafumbye ewooma, emmere weba tewooma, it's my fault. So
oli waba yanabye nedugaza, it's your fault.
Muganda wange waba tanaabye, my fault. Waba tayaze bubuliri, my. So I grew up thinking that for someone to love me, I have to earn it. I have to do something for it. And mubukulu ndabye nti there's some people who just appreciate you the way you are.
Yeah.
But then last year my capacity ebamu nkukolere
njagade
era wemba sikoze mbeera awo nendowooza sawa yonna ndeka
so liba wakwagala genuinely otyamu
ntyamu era kyo kituufu era abantu abamanyi ennyo bamanyi nti I'm a very nkuwa nonjagala. Even my relationship with God eli ekyo nti ffe nga Christians we believe that God loves us and there is grace. Naye I've had time to understand that concept kubanga ndowooza ninakola kirungi
Katonda njagale ng'abalala.
Yes.
So mami wano okutandika okufuna obuzibu ne daddy, when did you notice nti waliwo problem?
The first vivid ngenze nkula, I've been training at I think my teenage years. I started blocking memories intentionally. When I ngenda okwebaka and I remember a bad memory, I block it out. I put it's a natural film actually, and I started it. I think I was 12. I was joining S1. Natural film katinga wemba muliri nendowooza wano twali tukaaba nengamba not twali tukaaba, and for like a week ngenda neteeka mu kitwali tukaaba
ngoda mu movie ono
editing. However, the first vivid memory that I failed to block out was when I was probably 6, 7. I was in a yellow dress, floral yellow dress, and twali mu motoka ne daddy. When namanya nti kati nawe waliwo obuzibu. My mom was behind, we in the car. My mom was behind with me. My daddy ali maaso. Mami nalaba ebifaananyi by'omuwala omulala in a brown envelope behind the car. N'atandika omubuuza, what is this? What's going on? As a young girl, I didn't understand why mommy was crying because there was twali na wandegea. I remember mommy yateeka enjala ze mu ndabirwamu n'atandika okukaaba ng'asaba buyambi. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember that walimu ebifaananyi and that mommy yali atadde engalo ze mu ndabirwamu, so ng'akaabye nnyo ng'endabirwamu emunyize ng'omusaayi guli muvaamu. So I remember
endabiramu ng'emunyize etya nga daddy agitadde waggulu.
I don't know if
endabiramu eno
eyambuse. So ebuzaayo katini, but the nails are stuck.
Yes.
And so mu pressure y'okaaba enjala engalo ze ne zizimba omusaayi ne guvaamu. Many a times I told myself that is a memory I created in my head. Naye I don't think it is, because I had the yellow dress. I remember telling my mom, Bambi, stop crying. Mommy, it's okay, bileke. And my dad was just looking ahead. And I kept wondering, as a young girl, Rachi daddy telling me, that is the first time I realized something isn't right. And as a girl, anti wange angamba nnyo nina this thing of I compact things nenteeka ekintu mu box nekiteeka in another side nensooka nekissa ebbali
n'okiddira edda
nekiddira edda so as a child nasooka nenkissa ebbali but it continuously came back to me whenever they fought whenever mami yakolanga nnyo if they had an argument nga tugendako ewa auntie so that time I think that's the time I grew up ngamba kati temukyali byakusaaga era nga ndi very sensitive what mommy tells me what daddy tells me and what I can share with them.
Sensitive how?
Nti mommy waba ngambye something I can't share it with daddy because I know they are on two different pages. If I share it ngoba teyamugambye kaweddemu there is chaos in the house
nti tebakwatagana daddy olwogerako ne mami kuba kuyomba
kati nga daddy wangambako oba ngenda kuwaayo 10,000 nga me I think I am ngamba tosijja kigamba mami ayinza okukitwala omubi so when nkugambye nti I didn't have a chance to be a child no, I had to be very careful, very sensitive what I say, how I say it, when I say it paka bukulu
okuva ku myaka mukaaga twadde mukola daddy nga bali mu mukwano ne mami.
There were moments when they were good. I remember at a certain age nali mu P4 bagende Fort Portal mami got a transfer byali very very bad with daddy. Mami nafuna transfer Fort Portal and then mami mu bulumi bwe obungi yanteekangako that pain. She ngayogera very hurtful things.
Yes, she told me that.
Ngali things at a very young age. I took my mother's word. For abawala, we look up to our mothers.
True.
Much as wabelawo daddy's girl, what our mother says is
It's
the
kind
gospel.
of truth.
It's the truth. So my mom used to tell me, Lorna, you're too tall. No one's ever going to love you. Lorna, you're too light-skinned. Nze niwe waffe bambuuza oba oyo mwana wakima. Ate nga mu baganda bange surprisingly nze nzeko omweru. Oli mweru nnyo nga nkiraba. Lorna, no, you're very skinny. Like nga nengeri I remember there's a time when nalina ssenyiga nga nzisa bubi. Nangamba naye lwaki ossa bubi? Ani anaakwagala ng'ossa bubi bw'otyo? And that broke me. So Fort Portal was a very very
yabigamba nga ali bitter yabigamba nga osobezza oba just like nga bwe munabeerawo ne mami nga yagala kuzannyamu naye.
Both times my mom was a lively person. On her good days she would come out play with us as kids night abana ba neighbor na like netwepena. She was the life of the party. But after Fort Portal or during Fort Portal there is a cloud that came over her. And right now I can't differentiate between what we are correcting and what we are bitter. All I know is in Fort Portal sad in Amirembe. And so in my P6 I left Fort Portal. Pali tujanga holiday to see with daddy and Jaja and everything. Natuja a few days. So I had one jean, a top, a skirt and a dress for clothes. Wetwatuuka obudde obw'okuddayo ne mugamba siddayo.
Gwegamba mami?
Nagamba daddy sina gye ninaga.
Ne wadadi wali obeera nani? Because daddy talina
nga mbeera nga ndeeka ewa jjajja his parents. So the holidays we were there. Nga there was a drop off point. Abaana mbalese wano bagenda bakima.
Kati wano nga temwebuuza lwaki temubeera na daddy lwaki oli wa jjajja?
Me I knew.
You knew what?
Daddy and mommy have separated.
Oh, how did you know?
Twali tuparkinga nze yaparking into ng'era byonna tubijjeeyo okitegeera. And my brother was so young and my brother was my mommy's baby.
But jjukira transfer.
The fact that I knew it was a transfer, but I also knew that she had taken it to get away from him. I knew that embeera teyali nnungi enough for her to try to make it work. I knew that it was a separation. Bwe twajja okulaba daddy ye teyalingako. They never had any communication.
Why?
No. Okay. I never asked because nze nali mbira. My parents they didn't hide much from me. When they were angry, they would show me they are angry. When they are happy, they would show me. I don't know if my brother saw these things, but for me, I did. Later on, actually, after Fort Portal, when my mom got back with my dad, 11 to my mom would tell me to lock the house and take the key to Angamuhuza, but daddy tanaba kudda. Angambo tugenda musibirayo. And so at that time I was a teenager.
Chokatuddeyo emabega wali ewa jjajja baleka ewa jjajja nogaze siddayo
nengamba daddy sinagendaga at day 2 ne bangamba muganda wagenda kubaawo atya. That was their first question. It wasn't why. It was nzijukira my jjajja wange omusajja yangamba no jjajja wange omukyala yangamba ani analabirira nga muganda wo w'onoomuleka. Daddy ngangamba olina okuddayo because he was a man, he couldn't take care of this young girl.
Yeah.
Nembagamba nze no sidda. It was, I think, my first decision that I made in life, and I stuck with it. Jjajja wange omusajja n'agamba daddy wange, I remember they were in the car, namugamba omwana waba tayagala kugenda, she probably alina ensonga ze.
Nenye ensonga zo zaali ki?
Fort Portal was bad.
Bad because mommy used to use
there was no
words.
Peace at home. There was no peace at school. The school I was in, there was a teacher who, I can't say molested, but was very into my business, very touchy. We didn't have any sexual relations. Nayenga mzee yali asoka nga kusomero at about 6:30. And so nga mwalimu class. And he would be very touchy, very...
Mami ntomugambako?
No.
Twali room eyo?
Tochigeza. Bayinza okukuba oluyi.
Mpulira.
And school wasn't good. I didn't have friends. I had friends, but I didn't feel like I could share with them, so they weren't my friends. Home was a war zone, and I just didn't have peace. And I wasn't suicidal. In my life, Sibling akawa nengamba kanete. Naye nagamba nembera ninojivanga. Ngamba nja kubeera ewa jjajja. Era daddy we yangamba nti oyagala sigala naye sina mukozi waka, sina alabirira waka. Ngamba nja kubeera ewa jjajja. Ate emisomo gyo namugamba simanyi nja tuula ttamu. Chilling nti I'm not going back. I had 4 clothes and 1 knicker. And daddy was daddy. Nebintu byali bya mommy. So for I think 3 months I juggled with those 4 clothes and 1 knicker.
Mommy tomuuliza? Nothing. She didn't even come for you?
I don't remember her calling. I don't remember her asking why I didn't come.
And you didn't feel guilty?
No. I was very content with my decision.
And your jjajja nga munyumya?
My jjajja, she's now passed on. It was very, very tough on me, but I was her first granddaughter. So I'm packing yangulila ka container when I finally got to school. Kela nankamulila juice. Ne bampa 10. Nengula ka cake nga mwitaka mu container mwitaka my cake.
Eno byakyukamu ewa jjajja twaddamu okufuna biri bwafuna ngeri? So like okubeera nga bakuvuma?
No. At Jajja's it was peaceful.
Peaceful, eh?
Of course, Kachatawo, unfortunately, it was when I was hitting adolescence. So I was having a lot of changes that I didn't know what to do with. I went to the pubic hair.
Jajja mubuuzi. Jajja musajja mukazi?
Yali jajja mukazi.
Okay.
But because nkuze nzamanyi all, nkuze nze mukulu, nze atake, I didn't feel the need to ask someone for help. Even right now, I find it very hard to ask for help. Many a times things were thrown at me and I had to take control. So Jajja Samo was the period to collect I just need deodorant. They gave me a room, my judges, but after some time, it was Jajja ni wanemerera. I don't know the real reason. Then I zukuka kumacha nengamba daddy kati nono ngenda wo.
Wali wegenda kwerayo nani?
Simanyi. Naye nga nkoze decision ate sidda mabega.
Daddy nakutwala?
Daddy nantwala ewe. Nga ewe tewali muntu it was a 2-bedroom house, so 1 bedroom was his, and then the other bedroom, yeah, my dad loves computers. Atademu computer nyingi. Nenzijjawo ezo computer nenzissa ebbali, nenfuna akafaliso nenkanyigawo, nenneyalira obuliri bulungi, with my folk clothes nembuzinga mu some box. And looking back, for me, that was maybe one of my happiest moments as a child.
Right.
Because I didn't have someone yelling at me. I didn't have expectations. All I had to do was wake up, and it was kusomelo. Very early at 5:30. And it was kusomelo. With taxi, napa transport, nevayo, napa sente za dinner. For I think about a year nalia chips. Ezo zebasika kubo.
Mutubita budate chips.
Aha, obo. Nga wenkomawo, usually at about 6, neambula nenaba. Nenzikirira waliwo omwami yali asika chips. He was a bit far away from the place. And the chips buli lunaku.
Daddy yakomosa ameka.
And daddy, I honestly don't know.
Nga yeggulira because I honestly have no idea. I work because ngandya chips ezo nendaba the same movie Preacher's Kid. Day in, day out. Why?
It was my happiness.
Okay.
Nga sina mami angambye nti wakola kino.
Wano waddugala wano.
I was in my space. Eventually, our daddy nafunayo mukwano gwe who moved in, who tried to cook here and then. Naye nga nzilayo nengula buchips bwange.
Ono mukwano gwe takunaginga nga nothing.
Nothing. Ngela nyumiza obubozi olusi nga trying okunzijayo out of. I enjoyed my company.
Olukomo mu kisenge kyo. Ono mukwano gwa daddy muwala mukazi.
Yali mwami.
Okay.
Yes. Ngela we babera on the weekends, I'm in my room. And I enjoyed cleaning. I cleaned a lot. So ngolose baby computer mbijja nembirongosa.
Cleaning kuno kwalinga kujjako birowoozo oba it was your hobby?
Both, I think. Because jukira nkuze,
you're cleaning.
I'm cleaning. So when I nechizibu, I vigorously clean. Even now, when I nechizibu, if I'm stressed, I will vigorously.
I will take it kati ali stressed.
Ela antu wange waliwo olunaku lwe nakomayo waka ne because I'm living staying in my aunt. Ngamba otandise cleaning ate kiki kyabaddewo leero. And that is when I realized that this is how I process. Nti neweeba ekintu kitukula bitya.
Okiddamu.
Njakiddamu naddala bathroom nengokoleyo mabega wa toyi buli kimu nabbubi buli kimu. And I don't get tired till the house is clean. In that when I get tired, the next thing is to sleep.
Oh. So mudamu ddyo okukwatagana ne mami.
So after Fort Portal, very hard time. Fort Portal, mami yali alabawo my brother. Ngera my brother waba nekizibu. My brother gwe bafaako nze waba nekizibu. You can sit it out, you can be patient. So when I left Fort Portal, then nenzire wa daddy. One day I think in P7 at that time. Daddy akomyewo. He came back early that day. I was in shock. Ngenda okugula wavaabo ne mami. Mu motoka bavuddeyo babiri. My heart sank.
Why? I thought you would be happy.
My heart sank. I remember I had a smile on my face. Naye nga omutima gwazitowa away.
Fear?
Fear, shock, panic. Because my parents had this thing. Things were bad, they get back together. Things get bad, they get back. There was never stable. So I think nalingamba akomyewo ela we're going to do this cycle again. Thing. Bagenda kuddamu bavumbe emirembe gikoze eki gigenda kunvaako. And my brother was there and things were okay. They started working together again. They were fine. There was some sort of happiness. Naye langa, I'm holding my breath. During that period of time, I was holding my breath. And it was then, 10 years, that was after, I think, 10 years later. And that's when they gave, no. Before the 10 years elapsed. They were together for quite some time. Things were okay. Nengela, I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath, waiting for the bomb to drop, waiting for change. And that I can't say it was a good time.
Yeah.
I hated my parents.
Why?
Because Zengandaba, second yari yakavera quite some time. They got married, had me, separated, had my brother, separated, then had another child. So before they had this other child, Ngandaba, this has been a cycle. Ngandaba bagenda kunziza mu bulumi. Nga ate when nali as a child nga nina carrying my mom's pain, I had to carry my dad's pain.
And your brother.
And my brother's pain. Until I realized when mommy fights with daddy, she's going to come and yell at me, so I have to carry that. No kumwagala in her pain. My brother, tabamfuddeko, so I have to take care of him. My dad, I never zibu, so I can't ask him for money. I can't ask him to
so basically go in with understanding situations.
Yes. And I found that my feelings were ignored. I found that I went along with other people's feelings. If mommy was feeling sad, I'm feeling sad. If daddy was angry, I'm angry. I never had my feelings.
Exactly.
I was never a child. And I hated my parents. Loathed them. Hated them. In the anger, just soul and naku express.
So wanyiganga bwafunanga yo anger wagikozesanga otya wagijjanga koti mukazi wattu
ate oba mama byayagala naye nga talaba omwana omulungi alongoosa but ndi mu bulumi oluusi nga ngenda n'embeera n'emikwano gyange and I would shout at those kids. I would beat those kids. And Lorna, Inaman, she's a leader. She's a leader.
So she's hurting.
Naenga ndi mu bulumi. I didn't have anyone to talk to. Then when I finished my period, I was in my P7 vacation. It was around the time Mommy came back.
Twamugamba nako.
No, nali kusomero. The school I was at was gracious enough. In my P7 vacation, they gave me a job as a teacher. So I was teaching the book nursery kids. In my period came, I told my friend she was called Samantha. Oh my God, I've received my period. My period has come. Now because I was skinny, I thought my period is going to go one day, just today. Tomorrow it won't come. The next day I am apart. I didn't tell my dad. I didn't move. I didn't clean myself. I just sat in the same place the whole day. Because I was at school, but I didn't move around. I'm sure I was smelling for people. And I cried. That day I cried.
Why are you crying?
I'm crying because my mom should be here to tell me this. But even when she came, I still cried because I can't ask for help, for her help. I never asked my mom for help.
For help?
No.
Pushing away?
My mom pulled down my self-esteem a lot. I was never the pretty girl.
Skinny.
So I was very timid in asking for help. The most help that I ever asked was, I need money for this. Of which it wasn't very often. My parents know Lorna unless I live backed against a wall. Mami wabatampeleza sente, daddy walitampeleza sente.
Yeah, bulijjo.
Kubanga embeera nali ngiyiseemu before at my judges. Oluusi waliwo emmere, oluusi tewaliiwo. So nakulira mu mbeera of I had to be strong. I had to suppress my feelings.
So kati abazadde baddiŋŋanye bazaddira omwana omulala. How was it for you?
I love my baby sister. That was they first tried. I remember my mom trying, and when she was trying, she would tell me. My mom was very vocal with her feelings, and in telling me her feelings, she thought it was helping. I don't know. Nature Charlie changed it all because I didn't know what to do with certain feelings that she would tell me. Now we tried. They were very open with me. This disturbed me a lot because there's some things I didn't want to hear. But she had her miscarriage. They were trying, and every time she had a miscarriage, she would tell me, "One and only have them. Ata tulina okukaaba, tulina okuba mu mbeera embi." Awo nga mulaba mami tali okenza alina okumusiitiriza. Ojjukira nga bwe nagambye wali bwe yali akaaba, era nze alina okukaaba naye
ozeeyo mu same routine.
But eventually, my mom's pregnancy with my sister was very hard. Because she told me yali nnyo coil for a very long time. She had also frozen her eggs. I remember that conversation. So pregnancy yali hard. I was with her. I worked with her every time. Nga wa craving a KFC. Obudde obw'ekiro ssaawa 4 enkya nina pepper. Nga tuzunga naye KFC. Tubeera bunamwaya KFC eri kwa Keisha Mall. Naye ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro nzunze naye.
Bambi.
I was my mother's friend. I was her keeper. I was her sister. I was everything.
So bikolanga mu fear, not love.
No. I also did it out of obligation. A fear and obligation was that leading one, not love. And I didn't like it. I don't recommend it for parents. There's an age to be friends. There's an age to be parents.
Kiki otegeeza mu ekyo?
Nti waliwo emyaka mulina kuba muzadde.
Emyaka ki ekyo?
Tulina emyaka between maybe 6, 8, 10. Mulina kuba muzadde omwana wategeera the do's and don'ts. Omwana wategeera respect. Some values are instilled then which you can't do as a friend. Nze nali mukwano gwa mami. I didn't have do's and don'ts. Ate daddy yagezangako maybe. Daddy yali very, very strict. Saa 11 n'okuba oli waka. N'okuba wanabi, like, so maybe that's where when nakifunira naye for my entire life I've been my mom's friend. She confided in me. Rarely nga afunyeyo abasajja bamukwana nga she tells me.
Was it that bad okuba your mom's friend?
I didn't like it. I just wanted to be a child, honestly. I wanted to have my own problems. I wanted to have my boy problems. I don't worry about big people problems. Of course, abana b'ennaku zino bayinza okugamba nti, oh, you know, that would be nice for me to talk to my mom, to be an opening. But honestly, for me, it was a burden.
Nga bamukwana akugamba. Nga okitwala otya?
Ngamba kati bannaye bino lwaki abinywa nga sibyetaagisa awo eno. So I have to put my feelings. Ndi mwana nange nina ebinsumbuwa. Ntadde my feelings. Nina abankwana kati ate ntadde feelings zange kati ate katwogere ku ono. Ate nga it also depressed me in a way that ndowooza ku taata wange. So is this normal? Is this how it works for you people who really in a marriage and then be entertained? I was but it helped me nakula. Anyway, my sister eventually she came. The first day she came, she was in her yellow overall. She was Ghana on that first. She was like 3 days old. And I visited my sister. I think after that, my parents.
I think I changed to sell.
At that time, I didn't know. I put all my attention on my sister. Era muganda wange nali ku church nga muganda wange balooza mwana wange. Because at that time I got a few hobbies to distract me in Alemu Secondary. So I joined the choir. Nenga bulijjo njagala ngenda ne muganda wange.
Bannange.
Nga kato, because actually ekizibu, I think where things messed up a lot was after my mom. Before my mom got an accident, things were shaky. Nenga they're bearable. Ngolabera embeera teri ntuufu naye nga osobola ogiyita ebbali. Nze nakula nga manyi okuyita ebintu ebbali.
You maneuver.
My mom got an accident. As for my chemistry papers in S2, my mom had an accident. Spine nekutuka. Connecting her to the neck, something like that. My dad my heart broke. It broke mostly for my sister. Because she was 6 months at that time. Mami nabela mudwaliro for a while. It was a very big operation. Aba doctor ngabagamba buzakati ninyo afe. So she was very delicate. nabeerako ne jjajja wange mama wa muzaala, so nenzirayo kulabirira muganda wange, nenzirayo kulabirira my sibling, nembeera firstborn as I should have been. Naye kati awo mami we are recovering during that process. She still, mami, yeah, cool. Elani we are having my sister, na my baby brother, mwana, fabalala tulimperekeze. Era nga my brother at that time kati nga akuze nga saasobola mubuulinga. Era namugamba nze njagalayo ekyokulya. Namuwa olukumi. Sawa endala neetawo nze njagala soda. Namuwa olukumi.
Kyakuteekanga wa kino n'omukwano eri brother wo?
I despised my brother because I felt like he was taking over love without even trying. When I asked from both my parents, my answer was always no. That we innocent. But my brother asked because my mom we alinga alimo bulili those times. Olunaku lugwako nga muspendinzeeko 10,000.
Wow.
Naye ng'ate muganda wange azijja n'awanze mugulire ate n'atampaako. Nga ninga step child. Mbere yampisa bubi. I didn't feel my parents' love. Because at our event, my mom became very spiteful towards my dad. Daddy naye weba muchawa nga naye olusasulawo olusitasulawo. So nga sina bazadde as of say. I felt like I was in this world by myself.
Twafunanga okujja eri mwannyoko?
Nabafuna, but because nali nkuze ndi muto, I realized that he's also a child. Then joining a church, luckily enough, my parents was to introduce me to faith. So I joined church. At 6 months, we had practices. I became her mom. I did everything because 6 months we have a kumabere. Mami alita sichasola muyosa. So ngatamwenta, ngira neba kanae. I was a mom.
Tekyakusomooza mu kusoma? Being a mom.
Soma. O level yange actually I didn't read. Ngangena kusomero nembera mu mikwano gyange nembera mu balenzi nenzira nendabira kaganda kange nengenda ku church. I didn't actually S2 I didn't attend classes.
So senior 4 performing good?
Not so badly for someone who didn't study.
Wait, I'm grade.
Night I'm second grade.
Yes.
I got 36 aggregates. Then we tried to call senior 4. I didn't read. Nazija kusomera abana bali mu sasi banange.
The grace of the Lord.
Ate nga nina mu grace ngolusi ngamba nayo 2 pens nga satambudde na pen. Waliwo omwala yangamba, but do you know that we're having math today? Mugamba kati nono ne set sina who has to set.
Banange.
Nga my O level night out by God's grace.
So kati bino okucankana kw'abazadde bo kwe kwakuteeka wa like kukuhatinze kutyanga omwana
kati nkuze. I realized that nakulira in a very negative situation. Nenji making my peace. With one when ebintu ebiba bintambulira bulungi, I crave for the negativity. Sagala ebintu nti
bitambula bulungi, biri perfect. Wow.
Mentambula nesifunayo
challenging.
Ngamba kati oba kyekiddako wano oba nyonoona like better anxious when I don't have something negative. And even in my relation, my friendships, sometimes I seek out the drama. Chihatinza nnyo nti I hated my parents still probably last year, 2023. Basagala bazadde bange. Ngera sibalinaako mukwano. Nga sibalinaako nti olabe kati wano tukuze bw'olabira tuli ku campus. Mikwano gyange gifa ku bazadde baabwe bali mu bapositinga nganza ngamba azuhu muteekeyo ngana. Naye nga mwebaza ki. Ngera waliwo abangamba naye nga mami wa sacrifice nze bingi
nga tobiraba.
Nze saabiraba, unfortunately. Because in my mom's story, she sacrificed a lot for her children.
Yes.
In my story, I carried the sacrifices. The sacrifices she has made for us. Nagamba elanga when they fully separated, nainzo gamba kirizo cha tata wo nze like you had to take her side because of the sacrifices she had made for you. Nechidda inti I had to be in people's feelings again. Inti mwenda wa daddy ne mami ani mutufu kubana. I had to support my mama 100%.
What the same mutufu?
What the same mutufu. If my dad advised me something and I thought in my head that chochokola sense, I couldn't take his side because my mom has sacrificed a lot for me. Nechindeetera obusungu, nechindeetera spite, nga nina eggumi lingi. Era my mom ngamba I'm a very difficult cold person. Naye nga busungu buli towards my
kati
parents.
walokoka era wasigala okyakifeeling.
Ne mu bulokole Ruth, feelings are feelings. Era nze nga nfukamira ku mavivi ne ngamba Katonda. Ati nno olaba nkwagala nnyo naye ndi mu busungu. Era oba tobugjeewo, this is it. Ngenda kukola ki? Ate oba kati you who has the king's heart in your hand oganye okunkinzijako,
kati oba basonyiwadde.
That was another journey. Auntie wange we yatandikira okuŋŋamba. Auntie wange is very, very prayerful kati nga wansembeza mpola mpola. Nga nsabanga era ngenda ku church nga naye ntambula n'obusungu bwange. Ate ng'obusungu sibulina just to my parents, I have it towards everybody.
Everybody, you're bleeding.
I don't know if I bled on people. But chenali manyi nti nga buli omu n'essaawa yonna ate nga nti nkulidde mu mbeera nti nothing is permanent. Nti omuntu wasituka n'andeka ngamba bye. Ono wanyingira. Bye. Nga sina musori seguya. Like this is my life. Okusonyiwa abazadde bange was last year, at the beginning of last year. I went to so many pastors. Nga bangamba ekintu kimu ono olina osonyiwa. Lorna olina osonyiwa abazadde bo. Bachingamba before in high school ne bangamba Lorna olina osonyiwa abazadde bo. Naye awo nali muto. Ngamba kale. I'm not taking my religion so intensely. Naye it reached a point last year nti nothing was going to move unless I forget. Nali ngenda kukola my internship. Nali I was supposed to graduate. Ebintu byonna ne byesiba road.
I know.
Nga buli kimu kyesibye nga they are waiting for me to forgive. Ate awo embeera we yatabukira.
Ate etya?
Awo mami ng'era ayogera ebintu
ebikuyongera.
Yali afunyeyo, they had separated completely for quite some time. She was with another person. My dad was also with another person. Ate awo n'atandika ebintu bya weebaka n'omwami wange. Oyagala basajja bange. Things like that.
Nga kufunye kati obujja. Nga kiva ku kino.
I honestly have no idea. Because I don't think I'm the prettiest. I don't think I have anything in my corner.
Ate nga tolina kyali okoze kyonna nga kiraga nti you're seducing.
If anything, omusajja wajja, ane excuse me, ng'era ate afuba nnyo ate okunzijangayo mu kisenge. Jjukira nze nkuze, mbeera mu kisenge. Nembeera ku byange.
Lorna ng'erinnya lyo.
Kyekyo kyennyini, ate nga nina emirembe. So, nanzijayo ate natandika ng'okuvaayo ate nga that's a problem. So there was no pleasing my mom in anything that I did. N'obusungu obwo. Anyway, we atandika ebintu ebyo nti ate
oyagala baami be biki
ate nakuvuma mu kaseera. So ate awo nga abantu we balongedde okuŋŋamba olina osonyiwa. Ngamba nsonyiwa batya omuntu
accusinga byesekoze.
Taking someone else's side over me, her daughter. Omuntu gwe yakalaba. Waliwo maid we yamugamba some false things. Ngamba ate she's taking the maid's side. My mom took everybody's side but mine. As usual, she took my brother's side in it. There was never some sort of equality. Ngamba yes. Namugamba katano Katonda biremi. Atao when it was I think the first time I experienced my first love. Atinayenga naye amenya omutima. Buli kimu ngandi mu bulumi.
How did you trust this person?
How did I trust
your first love?
Kubanga no one was giving me attention. The first person I let give me attention. I was like, wow.
Kisoboka? Anjagala bya ddala? Oba anyina kyayagala?
Say was oba ina chayagala because he just ngayangamba ko you beautiful yo. Because in O level I had people telling me that I didn't believe that. A level nali mwana azanye nnyo nga I don't take my studies serious. Form 6 when I tedera but this guy came after my Form 6 and I don't know, he was tall, he was handsome, he was everything at he chose me. Why I loved him, why I accepted him is he chose me. He had options, he chose me. No one had ever chosen me.
Yeah.
My parents had never chosen me. My family had never chosen. I was always background noise. I'm the one who delivers and yet isn't loved.
Yeah.
How he got to me was through some other friend of mine. My other friend had more the options and he picked me.
Do you think I must take your story?
No. No one knew my story.
Okay.
This is my first time sharing my story.
Okay.
My friends don't know my story. My friends don't know Tinaling end up campus and nobody knows this. I carried this by myself.
Okay.
I carried the pain by myself. I didn't. The one time I tried to share with my parents, we bad dingana, balekabazale my sister. Na again I'm saying by the way, mommy, what will not no one in your family loves me, and that hurt me. So I don't know if she took that as a joke, but she laughed with my dad. And I said, over my dead body, will I
I'll
tell?
never.
Because that was the first time I'm expressing my feelings and they laughed about it. I was like,
So this guy ajambula mungu.
He's loving me all the time. He wants to see me all the time. Like,
Zendi wa. Bamazone bandaba.
Nanjiro gama mami olava. And then
what happened?
He just ghosted me. Nasirika and I were going silent. Actually, he got money from me, a huge sum of money, and then he went silent. I had to pay back that money. I just finished my high school. I haven't. Our COVID no what and I mommy is accusing me of things. Everything hit me. Nibenali Ntademabeka behind me. Chenkugambi suppressing memories. It hit me so much in 20. I reached a point in ngamba yene katonda gwe tusinza ayinza okuba taliyo. Ina mukwano gwange yangamba mu Form 6 tuyinza okufa wano nga katonda ye Buddha. Fenna tugenda mugeena. Fenna kati awo ne ntandika birowoozamu ne ngamba yono katonda ngamba osonyiwa alinga
atalina feelings.
My parents have wronged me mulalu. Auntie wange nangamba nti when you're starting to forgive, when you know that otandise path ya katonda ebintu ebizibuwadira sitani wagulu. So you have to press on. Ne mugamba osaaga nensoka netusaawa ebbali
Boxing.
Going through my feelings, I became very bitter then. I cut off I hurt a lot of my friends because of the pain I was going through. My dad also hit depression. My mom was in her thing. Nera tuzeyo mu process yaffe. Buli omu okuba nali mu feelings ze. Eventually, last year 2023, it's when my mom took my maid's side. Nali wa daddy at that time. Natula kuwulire nengamba it's okay. Nensaba nengamba mukama kino kinzitoweredde kinnuma sina nkwatako. Ruth, I think it's the first time I encountered. People say this doesn't happen, but I remember someone touching me. Nengamba, I will be your mom. I will be the parent you didn't have.
Mama is right here. I know. It is okay to cry. It is very okay.
Because no one had said that.
I know.
For 22 years.
Now you're hurting and no one is noticing.
Yes.
I know. It is well.
Anyway, when I saw my mom, when I saw my dad, the next katonda. last year nze omuntu akuze mu bulokole we natandikira okulaba Katonda experiencing a relationship with him. After that mami nga newangambako ekintu I loved her. When she said hurtful things, I loved my mom. Nga ayinza ogamba naye abaana bawana temunjagala biki and I would love her. I started missing my mom. When sitting, I want to be with my mom. I started missing my parents. I started having love towards my parents. Last year at the beginning. That's how mommy we awulirira ddala nti I'm not on her side because when I turned client when I'm sonyiwa went nasonyiwa leero enkera nefuna internship placement enkera I had to nkama yalina promises nti when you forgive I will take you out of your parents' house. I'll give you a peaceful place. Enkera when nafuna sente za rent everything opened.
Wow.
And that's when I knew this can't be a coincidence. Kubanga for the longest time lichimunga chesibi. Now when I said it's okay and I took God's hand
and you meant it.
And I meant it because many a times I had said I've forgiven but I didn't mean it. But when I did, everything opened for me. Happiness, love, nempulila love towards the people that I felt actual love towards my parents. Ngovude kuya obligation. Era nesawa zino solo tukalinga makangene nchatereko dadi kangene nchatereko mami ngateri anonyeza nga sina chine kuteko chona.
So you believe that you are healing?
I healed. After forgiving. Forgiveness was not easy. Forgiveness, it meant I had to deal with a lot of things being alien. Forgiveness, but I realized at the end of the day my parents were human beings.
Exactly.
My parents married young. My parents didn't know any better. They made a mistake. They didn't intend to.
So onakyo wayizemu mu bulamu bw'abazadde bo onakyo wayizemu as Lorna?
As Lorna. Soka. Nalingola nagamba I will not get married.
That's
chikafuwe. But I realized mu changes nti my parents are human beings. Everybody's a human being. Everybody's going to make a mistake. I'm going to make mistakes. It's okay to forgive and move on. Because Nali stood up for very many years. So I said, it's okay. I need to forgive. I need to let it go.
So what message do you have for the parents out there?
For the parents,
right now.
I think ni mwana mto sina bana.
Ngamba wali omwana out there.
Buli mwana, for the parents that are going through something, it's important for you to protect your child. Kubanga we are still children. How we interpret them is probably not how you want us to interpret them. For me, Nandi, I would have been much better if my parents had tried to hide something. My parents had tried to work it out.
So you don't want people to fight in front of the children?
Don't fight in front of your children. Abana bamwe abazungu bakikola nnyo nti omwana wabaawo they smile. I never saw my parents smile, hug each other, affection. For the sake of your children, deal with your things as adults and let the children be adults. Because buli kizibu kye nnina right now is because I wasn't a child. I saw very many grown-up things. And I want to advise parents nti kyonna ky'oyitamu kyonna ky'olowooza ky'okolera omwana wo, it's probably not what she needs. Your child just needs to be a child. Even at 18. You only just need love. You don't even need to understand us. My teenage years to Babalalu. You don't need to understand. We just need you to love us.
Do you have a boyfriend right now?
Yes, I do. I do, however, that changes in my parents is not rush things. Take time to understand. I think my parents didn't understand themselves. Mami wange nyumiza stories. Because she was my friend, so she used to tell me, your dad was tall and handsome. And he looked nice, and I went for it.
Yakuyamba, look at you.
Yeah. now I know that it's not just that. Atenze included in my parents' marriage. I know it. Mufumbo tebagabira yobera. Mufumbo etaga commitment. You need to make it work.
Yeah.
Atito java.
Unabuyingira ngo you ready.
Yes. So much as I have a boyfriend, and much as there are men who have come to me, very many men. I said I will not be ready. I am not ready
until when you're ready.
Until when I'm ready. My friends get married. My best friend got married. My other friends are in good relationships. I said, I know what marriage is.
Are you scared
of marriage? 100%. Because I have chanting ngenda kwanga mama wangu. Ngenda kuduka situation.
Yes, wali yagambe he's there.
And I just fear marriage. I fear marriage, but then it's the one thing I want in life. It's the one thing I want to be good at because my parents weren't good at it.
Okay.
It's the one thing I jenjagala to be the best at. I just want for people to say, "Omwana oyo yafumba, akuziza abana, akuziza family." I want that. Yeah, and maybe what I could tell the children. They're also trying at this. This is their first try. You know, last born, they're still trying, and they don't know what they're doing.
Sure.
They need mercy. They need grace. Kubanga te jobali nawe jobda. Nabo bantu. So, yeah. Sibyangu.
God is grace.
Yes.
Nenga tebe nabisoboka mukama nga yemwesigwa.
Yes, alane olusi ate ekintu kya mukama sisobola gamba nti because I when namuwulira that experience and I felt him consume me nti ate I'm now perfect. No, waliwo embeera we mwita n'agaana okujja. Engamba kati ate gwe bami wangu ndese omanyi Katonda oluusi ajja geekolera mu budde bwe. But my relationship with God has taught me a lot. Kubanga nze up to now nekati kyamuyisa nga bazadde bange bwe bampisa. Kale nimbye kati kyaye kati kino kyakimpadde kubanga nimbye. And she's been teaching me to love and to love other people.
Okay.
Mu bulamu bwange I have loved very, very few people genuinely. Mu bulamu bwange I've let in very, very few people. My boyfriend, to say, and my aunt. And yeah.
So nga tusiibula bantu ki bawali agadde okwebaza mu journey eno eya healing.
I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my parents from the bottom of my heart. Wano wendi emirimu gye mmanyi empisa zange, it's because of you. You made a lot of mistakes, but mu mistakes omwo mwefunidde my lessons. Mu mistakes omwo mwefuuse omuntu. It has shaped me so much. My work ethic, my responsibility. Singa mami tyampa responsibility. Like that has been it.
Omusale tasobya nno.
Era tasobya. Kama yangambye abo bazadde bu
tebusobya. Omusale tagulwa.
So I thank my parents a lot for that journey. I thank my mom for kubanga ayise mu muliro for me. Mami byayisemu, I don't think I will ever go through. My mom has carried a cross that I probably should have carried. Has carried a cross for my siblings. My father has carried a cross for my sons that I will give birth for so much. I also want to thank my aunt, Aunt Hedwig. She has been a rock more than she knows. After some time when nalingankabirira mami wanvuma nga mweza voice note ngankaba kati sigana na wakatonda angenda uwe ngamba Lorna, this is the journey we have started. Buma. I want to thank Christian. Christian is my boyfriend. He has been patient with me kubanga yansanga nino
ebiwundu nga byolina
ngate mbimukasuka
nga byonna biwunya.
He was my friend for the longest time. And in being my friend, he accepted me the way I am. and abantu abamu bangamba nti maybe you're loving him out of obligation, but I don't think so. He has been very patient with me. I thank him for that. I want to thank God for being there, and my mom's family, my dad's family. In bazade bange bwe balinga and these wrangles, the families really tried to sustain me emotionally, financially, physically, because nalinga mbere waba auntie bange. I didn't have a stable home. So my family balingawo. I want to thank Auntie Jen, Auntie Zai. They were my uncles. Bonna babaddewo, but of course nga ndi ku social damage. There was only so little they could do. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Akukingirize n'ebirala byonna by'obadde otya n'okutya kujemu kubanga okutya si kwa Katonda.
Okutya kwo nkyalina kungi. Njagala gamba buli omu nti otandika the healing journey. It doesn't get better within a year. It doesn't get better tomorrow. It ogwako stay. Yes, but I'm learning.
Yes.
I'm learning. And I thank my friend.
And a good thing, you're healing n'olayita mu baana babulidingirako. So that's kirungi ddala. So anyway, twagala obaagaliza olunaku olungi. Thank you so much. Ate musigaleeko n'ebirala bijja. All right.